Hello and welcome guys to another F1 Manager video. Today we've got the new season we're going to be starting in Bahrain. We've got a new driver lineup for ourselves. We've got one man staying in our team and the other man's going to be new to our team, as we have one teammate leaving of Enzo Fittipaldi, as we didn't sign a contract for him, as we weren't planning on having him this season. I was originally planning on having Andrea Kimi Antonelli in the seat, but we have Doohan in the seat because Kimi Antonelli has to do 2 seasons or participate in 2 seasons of F2 before he can actually race for us. So we've got no Kimi, but we do have Jack Doohan. We got Valtteri Bottas as his teammate, as he's been contracted for 3 years. We also have a new driver lineup for other teams, so we'll start by having a look at them. Max Verstappen, Norris, Leclerc, Piastri all stay. Carlos Sainz goes to Alpine. Alonso goes to Red Bull. Stroll stays. Hamilton goes to Ferrari like in real life. Russell goes to Alpine. Ricciardo goes to RB. Kicksauber of Yuki Tsunoda is in. And yeah, Ricciardo stayed at RB. Albon goes to Mercedes, even though he had one more year on his contract. Gasly goes to Williams. Bottas stays at Renault. Hulkenberg goes to Aston Martin. Ocon goes to Mercedes. Enzo Fittipaldi gets a seat at Williams. Kevin Magnussen gets a seat at Kicksauber. Zhou Guanyu has a seat at RB. Dennis Hauger gets a new F1 seat, a rookie into F1 at Haas. And the Haas have gone with the duo of 2 new rookies into the seats, so it clearly didn't work in 2021 when they had Mazepin and Schumacher, but they've decided to have Dennis Hauger and Liam Lawson as 2 rookies into the seat, and we of course have Jack Doohan as our second driver. So we are unfortunately still in debt, as we were quite far in debt from last episode and we haven't gained enough money, so we're going to be a bit in debt to start with. But a car doesn't seem to be too bad for this season. It's not the worst car, as if I have a look at our car, if you look on the right side of the screen there, you can see where our performance is. We're currently a decent car, not the best, but we're just in the middle ground. Currently the 15th best car, which is like about the 4th or 3rd worst car on the track. So we're not going to be the best, but we only have to get P9 in the constructors. So we're probably going to heavily focus on next season's car for this season instead, as we just need to get a few points to keep ourselves in this team, and then we can have a really good car for next season. So that'll be the plan, and our plan would hopefully be Jack Doohan doesn't bin his car a lot. Bottas hasn't actually binned his car once, so that's a good thing from him. Hopefully that's not going to happen in this race. But yeah, on to the race we go. We'll go 20th or higher for Doohan and 13th or higher for Bottas, as that's where I believe we can go with the car.
Here we go, folks. F1 returns, starting here in Bahrain. Every team...
Okay, so I'll skip through practice. Our affiliates, we got done into the team as an affiliate now, so we have an extra affiliate to our team, as we still have Kimi Antonelli and a few others, but we'll simulate through practice.
There's tension in the air today, so it must be time for qualifying.
Bahrain's track is dusty and abrasive, and even under the floodlights, qualifying is tough.
And just sort out their issues with the car and make their setups nice and easy for them.
And that should be the green light now. Copy. Loading cleared. Radio check. Okay, loading. Yeah.
Warm tires and brakes.
Get them ready for their main run of qualifying. And hopefully their only one, if they're good enough for that, but I doubt it. As Bottas is in high confidence at the moment, and Dylan would be a little bit lower.
Overtake button available.
He's a rookie, it's his first season in F1, so we'll hope for the best, but I doubt we're going to make it out of Q1 with him.
Lift off for fuel. Copy.
Dylan's currently going a lot slower than Bottas, as Bottas is doing a decent lap so far. See what he puts in, a 1:39,
Let's cool down
as Dylan goes a lot slower
Copy.
with a 1:32.5.
Copy.
tyres.
Copy. Okay, and a reminder to warm the brakes as much as possible. Copy. No management needed. And mode push when you're ready. Mode push. Copy.
Got them both ready for the lap, as it seems like something's happened with the
Are you
Sauer,
okay?
Big one.
as he's had a bit of a crash by the looks of things. As Dylan was just behind in the wreckage, as Bottas is locked up, so his lap will probably be pretty poor. And I've got Dylan, who we're gonna hope that he can improve. Yellow first sector for Dylan, not a good start, as he goes green in the second sector, which is a good thing for us to see, as he'll improve, but only to 19th. Which will turn into 20th. So it's not good from him, but it is his first Grand Prix, so we'll give him some slack.
Green light.
Get ready for the main lap to go. Full deploy, ready for their lap.
Use deploy as much as
Off
you
they
can.
go. As Bottas seems to be going pretty quick in the first sector. He's the only one to do a first sector though, so it's not really anything to stand by. As he goes 40.8 in the second sector, it's a pretty decent second sector. Only slightly worse than in last session, and he's on old softs. As he'll come up to the line, put in a 1:31.2, which is only slightly slower than his time from Q1.
Copy.
We can cancel liftoff.
Copy.
Use overtake button.
Copy.
Off we go for the main lap of this session. The one that should hopefully be the fastest. Green first sector, 2/10 or 4/10 up from his first sector time, so he's already going much faster. he had a pretty fast second sector, so an improvement here would be delightful, and he does. It's a 10th.5 improvement. So it's good so far. He's on track at the moment to getting through, as he'll have to post a decent last sector time, as he's just not fast enough. He's going to get 11th most likely, unless Russell improves. But he's on an in lap, so it's going to be P11 for the grid. .11th for us, as we'll see where the results finish. Lando Norris gets pole for the race, as Verstappen and Oscar Piastri take P2 and 3. Aston Martin's with P9 and 10, and Mercedes with P7 and 8. Seems to be the top 5 teams have made it through to Q3, and will be expected to be the points finishers, unless we can snatch some off. Jack Doohan's going to need to do something in the race, as he's well off at the moment. We're going to go soft mediums for both drivers here, as we'll get them ready. He's got some bad tyre wear, so we're going to have to be a bit careful on Doohan, whereas Bottas is ready to go, so we'll go with that.
Welcome back, everyone. The final preparations are now being made as we head into the race. And Alex Albon. Here we go with the Bahrain Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Get them both off of the Aero's battle assist, as it's pretty annoying to have set on. As we've currently overtaken one car of Hulkenberg, as Doohan and Ricciardo battle each other for 20th. As we hope that Doohan can get his way up ahead of him, but he's fell down. It's more important for us for Bottas doing well, as he's the one that's in the points currently. As Doohan's fell down a spot on Magnussen, as he's gotten an overtake done. As we've got Stroll dropping away from Albon as Ocon goes wide there, and gives us points position, as he's going to fall all the way to the back of the grid. So that's good things for us. As we got Bottas, who seems to be pretty nicely in the points at the moment. As we got Doohan, who's just calmly sitting at the back behind all of the mess. Put them on neutral usage now, as that's all we need. As we look for a move on Albon, we're not going to make it, as he's just going to sit behind. We've fallen out of DRS, which isn't a good thing to see, as it's going to make it harder for us to get further up the grid. Going to try to keep Bottas in range of Hulkenberg, as we do want to DRS our way forward and keep away from Fittipaldi and Russell behind, because their pack's quite long and he's going to be a threat to us if we do fall back. As Hulkenberg seems to be battling Albon ahead, as he changed his lineup a fair bit. So we're going to make Bottas cool his tyres down and hopefully try not to lose range on the cars ahead. But if we do, that'll be fine, as we are already 5-6 seconds up on Russell. Currently up by 7.5 seconds on Russell, so we're looking good for points here. As long as we don't have bad pit stops and anything like that, then we should be fine. As Dillon seems to be well off the pace, as he's 2 seconds down already. Dillon's fallen into last place on the race. If he doesn't perform well enough by halfway through the season, we will possibly think about changing drivers, as Andrea Kimi Antonelli will be available halfway through the season as a driver. So we've always got that backup option if needed. Augers must have had a spin, and he did, on turn 11. And Bottas makes a position on Albon, he gets up a place, hoping he can boost his way towards Hulkenberg, as he will be able to. And he'll keep himself as close as he possibly can to Hulkenberg, so he gets DRS on him. As Albon should be able to get us on this straight, as he will, as his medium tyres will become better than our softs, as there seems to be some really good managing from Hulkenberg, as he's on 79% on those softs. And we're looking to do a 2-stop, he's probably going to do a 1-stop by the looks of those softs. So he's done actually some pretty well, and he's probably going to be out of our race, as Albon should be within it, as he gets an overtake done on us. We're hoping he can't use up too much of our time, otherwise we could get caught up. As we gain a position on Albon again, as we'll have DRS down the straight.
Copy.
I'm just going to put them on standard usage of the tyres, as we want to be able to make a good two-stop strategy here, as we seem to be doing decently on our tyres here, as we're around the same area as Alonso on our tyres, and we're doing better than Ocon and Lawson.
Good job. Stroll in front of you.
Could be debris.
Crashes happened between the cars behind us, as George Russell's had a collision with Gasly.
It's not going the
It's good for us as they'll be further back behind us now, with that happening.
Copy.
Put him on full push for his last lap
Box.
on those sets of tyres.
Box confirmed.
As Bottas will let him have 2 more laps on these tyres and then we'll switch over.
Here's the car ahead of you.
We'll put Bottas into the pits now, as we're going to go on to a 2-stop strategy, on to the softs next. It should hopefully be good for us. A pretty good stop for us, as it's a 2.3 second stop. We should be able to hopefully undercut, or well, I would say undercut on Albon, as we could possibly do that. Not exactly sure how that'll go, but we'll see.
We need to start to protect these rear tyres.
And tires are looking nice.
Yep. Scuderia. Copy.
Getting slowed down a little bit by Sonoda here as Albon's jucking into the pits. So we're going to have to be prepared to come out near him. We'll probably be a little behind him, as that's where we were when we pit. We'll cool the tyres down as we've done our push laps, and same with our fuel. As Albon's coming out just ahead. A car ahead, so he's got a safe gap on us. As we look to follow Zhou around the track. So we're going to be a fair way behind Albon, so we're only really going to go for 1 point in this race, unless a red flag or a safety car were to happen. As we've got Doohan battling here with Gasly behind at the end, as he's been pushed wide off the track. As Doohan's battling again against him, as we got Bottas battling against Sainz.
Good job doing it. In front of us, Albon. Albon 5 in front.
got a yellow flag here.
Another spin for Hauger. He's had a pretty poor first race of his career. As now he's going to be 40 seconds behind second last. As we're currently in a solid 10th. We don't look like missing it at the moment. As Dylan's wearing his tyres a little bit quicker than I would hope. So he might have to go on some light tyre usage. As Bottas is well behind Albon at the moment, so we're not going to get any better than 10th position. And hopefully we don't do worse than 10th, because otherwise something went really wrong in this race.
Box this lap. Box.
No boxing Dylan onto the new set of mediums, and we're going to box Bottas not long after.
Let's go flat out.
So we'll get them both pushing on their tyres and pushing on their fuel. I mean, less so on Bottas because he actually hasn't been lapped yet. So we'll have to be careful of that.
We need to increase liftoff.
Yep.
Into the box we go for a pit stop. Get a 2.5 second stop, another decent stop for Dylan. As we'll come out in 21st place ahead of Hauger. Hauger's probably got another stop to go in this race as well. Another good stop for Bottas as it's 2.4 seconds. So it's another good one for him. As his pit stops definitely haven't done anything to hurt his race. So it's a good thing from our pit crew.
P14. There's 1.2 the gap now. .2 behind.
As he's lit through a car that's lapping him, so his fuel will be fine now.
No saving.
A little bit of lift off.
As we're getting an overtake done on his old teammate, Enzo Fittipaldi. As we look to get something into the corner, but Enzo Fittipaldi's learnt some moves and keeps himself ahead of Bottas.
distance, we are good to push one step more.
So we'll try to keep ourselves ahead into this turn, as we are able to. When we drop Fittipaldi back a little bit, as we got Ocon behind who is pushing and is looking for a point spot now, as he's done a 2-stop from his incident earlier on, which burned his tyres a little, and he's on the same straight as us, as we're now a fair way ahead of Fittipaldi, so we should be able to calm our tyres down a little bit.
Back off.
Okay. Fuel save as much as you can. Copy. Copy.
3 laps after this.
Copy.
You can push on this tire.
Oh yeah, copy.
Lando Norris wins it. He's first over the line.
We're going to come home with a solid P10 for the result, as we'll get our first point in our first race of this second season. So it's a good race for us, as Doohan's had a very poor race, but hopefully he can do better in the next race, as at least he beat one of the rookies,
Wait
as the rookies for this season were P20, 21 and 22. So we come home with P10 and 21 in the race. Solid race for us as a team, as we made one place in that race to get ourselves into P10. Lando Norris won the race over Verstappen and Piastri. McLaren having a very good first race, as Charles Leclerc and Hamilton come in P4 and 5. Nico Hulkenberg having a good first race for Aston Martin with the P7, as he was with us for a fair bit of the race at the start and he could have easily gotten further up the grid. As Enzo Fittipaldi had a decent race for Williams, as he was the better of the two, except Gasly did get shunted off by, I think it was Russell in the Alpine, so his race did get affected and he was actually doing better than Enzo Fittipaldi, as Valtteri Bottas sits 10th in the drivers, just like he was in the race, and we sit in 6th in the constructors over a fair few teams, over Alpine, Sauber, Williams, RB and Haas. We get some pit stop points from Valtteri Bottas's first pit stop, and we sit currently 4th in that championship, as we've had all decent pit stops for this race, so it's been pretty good. Unfortunately, we're still in debt, so we're going to have to fix that problem. That's actually no, we're currently out of debt by $1 million, so they're doing well in that regard. So we're going to need to put some upgrades on the car if possible. Don't think it's quite able to do it at the moment. We'll try putting on one underfloor upgrade, which the next ATR period is in 1 day, so we may as well put everything into this, as that'll be what's best for the car. There's an upgrade that we'll have onto the car for later on in the season, as we'll get our pit stop crew going and we'll get them faster on their times, as we also have a lot of things, a lot of factories that we need to fix.
We're here in Jeddah, where the tension is boiling as we head into the Saudi Arabian. Hello and welcome to the...
Those is the setups on Q1. Hopefully we can do better than last Q1, but we'll see how things go.
Should have the green light now.
Tires.
Copy.
Warm tires and brakes. Warm up the tires. We can put a bit of energy on tires.
We can push more.
Overtake button.
Got them ready for their qualifying lap, as we'll see what they can do. As Bottas has high confidence at the moment, and Dawn's got medium. Currently doing 3/10 down on Bottas in the first sector. He's got a lot of improvements to do. Probably keeping Fittipaldi would have been the ideal thing, as we got a kick Sauber right in front of us, which can give us some drag towards the line. And we go the 127.9, and Doohan only does 7/10 worse, so he's improving.
Okay, we charge on, recharge on.
Understood.
We're probably going to risk it here, and oh, there's someone out in the session. Probably going to risk it here and not send Bottas out for another lap, as Tsunoda hits the wall very hard and goes on track. Plus Bottas has one less softs to use, so probably saving for him would be a good idea. As we'll send Doohan out for another lap, as he's currently not through. A poor first sector from Doohan, as it's worse than his last one, and I think it is by a significant amount too. So it doesn't look like he'll improve, as he goes yellow in the second sector, and he doesn't improve.
Green, green, green. Let's do a good outlap. Good outlap.
Copy.
Send him onto his main lap of qualifying, his first one of the two. As I'll zoom through this one, as it shouldn't be too good this time. This is only a banker, as the next lap will be the good lap. He goes with a 128.8.
And try to cool the tires when you can.
So it's better than his first qualifying lap, if I remember correctly. So he's actually on for a good one here. We're ready for a second lap, if needed. Which it most likely will be needed. As Enzo Fittipaldi's only slightly worse. And Russell's slightly better, so we're going to need a better lap than this. As we've got Sonoda, who's already out of the session, so already guaranteed at least P15. As someone else has gone out. Hopefully it's someone below us, like Leclerc,
Now here we are going into turn 22.
and it's Albon. So that's good for us,
Just flies into that
as
crash.
he's out the
And
session.
he-
Sorry if that was a late response for that comment. But yeah, I play it once every 2 or 3 days. Anyway, onto the main lap for Bottas, as we look to put on a decent lap in qualifying, as we want to get ourselves through the next session. As we've had a 33.0 and a 28.9 so far. Looking to cross the line and improve, as he doesn't, so we'll be out the session, and we'll probably be, or we could get through if we're lucky, depending on how Sainz goes, except Fittipaldi and Sainz both improve, so we're not going to get through, as another red flag hits, and it seems to be our own team's car. We're going to underfuel the cars this time, as it seems to be a better strategy to underfuel the cars and go on light for most of the race than it is to do anything else. As we'll probably try and do a 2-stop strategy. We'll do softs to start off the race, and we'll do probably mediums in the middle for the doing, and for Bottas we'll do softs in soft, medium.
The anticipation is really building here. The fans in attendance are absolutely buzzing. We're now moments away from this, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
We do recommend full lift off for the fuel. Copy.
Bottas making a move at the start as doing his too. They're both doing well at the start as Bottas lets Sainz go through, so we're not going to make the positions. But we will have good traction out the corner, but not able to make anything, as Doohan's currently sitting behind in 19th. As we currently just made the same amount of positions we started with, so there's nothing too dramatic happening. Currently have Fittipaldi holding up the pack, so we want to get through as fast as we possibly can. Forgot to turn ARS Battle Assist off, so that's not helping us, as we should have a look into the next turn to get past, as we'll calm down our tyres because we don't need to use them up too much. As Dylan's not very good in his tyres, so we'll have to slow him down a little bit. As we're hoping Sainz and Russell don't get through past Enzo Fittipaldi, as otherwise they'll probably be gone up the road.
Car behind you, Magnussen.
As Dylan's fighting for a spot over Helga. As it looks like Sainz has gotten through on Enzo Fittipaldi, so they're going to be away.
Nice work. Currently the 18.
As we get up a position on Russell,
Now we can see
and so we'll
what
have a
happened.
look at the overtake.
Now this is where the race reached turn 24. The opportunity's there.
Nice overtake from Bottas to get himself ahead. As we'll sit in P11 now in the race, as we'll calm down our tyre usage as we are using the tyres a bit too quickly.
We cool the rear.
As we do want to get ahead of Enzo Fittipaldi and Sainz as they're on different strategies. Well, Sainz is actually on the same one, but Enzo Fittipaldi is on a different strategy involving hard tyres.
No DRS available, no DRS available.
Copy.
It's okay, it's okay. Flat out. Push, flat out, flat out.
No worries.
As they're going 3 wide into the turn, as the Williams seem to be losing out to the Mercedes, as hopefully Enzo Fittipaldi can get ahead of the Mercedes, as that would really help us out, except it doesn't look like that's going to happen, and now we have to chase down Sainz ahead, as he's gone quite far ahead.
How are tires? Tire status okay to run?
Quite consistent. Copy.
cut out on tires. Let's cool down the rears.
Copy.
Box.
We're going to do an undercut with both drivers to hopefully get them ahead of others, as that seems to be the best strategy for us, as Bottas is losing out on Albon and Gasly ahead. So we're going to make sure they get into the pits nicely, as he gets a good 2.6 second stop. And Doohan's coming in for a stop, and we'll see where he goes. He has an issue with his tyres as he gets a 4.4 second stop, which isn't ideal, but it is what it is.
Now there's been an issue in the pits.
Okay, so we open the gap.
Still 36 laps to go, 36.
Got Ricciardo ahead now to overtake with Bottas, as he'll look to make a position. He goes down the inside and makes a position successfully, which will hopefully be good, as he won't be held up too much, as Fittipaldi seems to be falling back now on his hard tyres, as he was quite further ahead earlier on, as Tsunoda comes out the pits behind
We need to
Doohan.
start to protect these rear tyres.
As we've gained some time on Albon. So that's a good sign for us, as Russell will pit. And we're catching up right behind Enzo Fittipaldi, who can hopefully hold up Albon, as we might be still a chance of points in this
Let's
race.
push now, the tires is good.
As we look for an overtake on Enzo Fittipaldi.
So we need one step more management.
Copy.
We can push one step more. You're doing a good job on tires, keep doing that. You're doing a good job.
Copy that. Copy.
Tsunoda has a terminal fault, so he'll probably be out the race very soon, and he is. So it's not good for him, but it is, well, good for Doohan, as he'll get the bonus for us. So it is good for us that that happened. So we got Doohan in at least 21st.
Yes, copy.
And you can push.
Copy.
How are the tyres?
In comes Bottas into the pits. We'll see what he can do in this race. As we get a 2.5 second stop. Decent stop from him. We'll put him out ahead of Fittipaldi, hopefully, which it will. Which will mean we won't get held up by him.
P15. Laps to go. Warm up the tires.
Okay, so ahead of you, you have Joe. Gap is 3.6. He is 4 seconds behind.
Okay.
Safety car. Charge. Follow the reference.
Copy.
Keep working on tires.
That's not good for us, as that'll put us closer to Gasly and Sainz. And they'll be on fresh tyres where we'll be on some old ones.
Overtake available.
Or possibly, although they might still stick on to their same tyres. We'll see what happens. As it's probably good for Dylan, as he'll get back into
Slow
it.
down. Overtake available.
Copy.
Safety car is missed up. For you to restart, you will need a mode race.
Copy.
Overtake available.
we'll have some sort of chance of getting points, as Dylan's going to be stuck back behind. We go full push on the tyres as Bottas gains place instantly on Albon, as Albon's out the race with a mechanical failure of some sort, as we'll hopefully be able to chase down Ocon ahead, as he's on fresher softs than they are mediums. And there seems to be a problem with Leclerc and Hulkenberg, as they've both got old mediums on the car, as we've got some decently worn mediums. Some that could get us into the points if Gasly doesn't steal it from us, as Gasly goes and takes the position. So we're going to be down in P11, as Gasly in the Williams seems to be further ahead. Can't do much about it, as we're just going to have to hope that we can overtake a couple cars here. As there seems to be a lot of cars going into the corner at the same time. As we got Alonso who's falling back on his softs, no problems with him, but he is falling backwards. So hopefully we can get that overtake on him so we can stay level points with Williams, as Williams seem to be charging down the field with Gasly, who's on fresher softs. As we look for an overtake down the straight, we're not able to gain it. So hopefully either Alonso can gain a position back, or Bottas can get a place.
No more overtake. 3 laps to go.
Copy.
Safety car will bring the end to the race, as Dylan's bottled it for us. And he is looking at a mid-season replacement at this rate, as he's given us no chance of getting points. So Gasly will come home for a solid P9.
Check the flag.
So, P11.
As always,
So Oscar Piastri wins over Stroll and Leclerc, as Red Bull had a very poor thing going on after that safety car happened, so they've fallen down the grid. As Charles Leclerc's had a pretty good race from P14 on the grid. As we look into the constructors, well, we'll look at the drivers first. Oscar Piastri leads the way over his own teammate, and then Leclerc in third. As if we look down, we can see Valtteri in 12th position, as Gasly had a good points finish, getting him 2 points. As we look into the next thing, we have McLaren in first in the constructors over Ferrari and Red Bull. There's Aston Martin in P4 with Mercedes in P5. We've got Williams in P6 over ourselves in P7. And then Alpine in P8 with Kick-Sauber P9 and P10 for RB and P11 for Haas. No pit stop points for us today, but we do see in a solid position in the pit stops. We get 600k from our doing of that race. We're going to finish off there. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And be tuned for more F1 Manager content. So see ya and goodbye.